My name is Sid and welcome to another vlog. I'm here with a fellow YouTuber, my friend, his name is Lloyd over here. He's down in Dubai. We were talking a little bit and he had some really interesting stories about his travels. He does a lot of low budget traveling,
yes,
correct?
I travel on a budget. I try not to spend a lot because I want to travel a lot. And whatever you save is what you keep for your next trips.
Yeah, so we were talking a bit and he was telling me some interesting stories. So I thought, wait, let me record it and share it with you guys as well. So how did you start this whole traveling on the cheap side?
So traveling on the cheaper side was, I think that's because I was always low on money. I never had a lot of money. I used to get very little pocket money.
Okay.
And it's a very interesting story. I used to be an introvert. Okay. My parents were kind of very strict, so they were kind of conservative then. So I did not have much options of going out and socializing a lot.
Okay.
However, I used to always go to this place called Dadra and Nagar Haveli to help one of the churches fix their computers, and every time I went there I had to go with a friend because I could never travel alone. One of the days none of my friends were available when I had to be there, and I kept calling everyone, no one's responding. I had to go by myself. One of the guys in the bus started talking to me and I'm like, this is not bad at all, because I thought I would get bored and I was scared of traveling alone. But this guy ended up having a conversation for about 3 hours in that entire journey.
Okay.
And not only him, but through him I met other travelers as well. So that's how I started traveling alone, because I realized it's not boring at all to travel alone. In fact, you end up meeting so many new people.
So one of the ways that he travels cheap is that he doesn't spend money on accommodation and he uses something called Couchsurfing?
Couchsurfing, yeah.
Yeah, so can you explain a little how this works?
Okay, so I'm sure everyone knows about Couchsurfing. If you don't know about it, then here's what Couchsurfing is. It's a website, or you could call it's a community of travelers wherein people with similar interests open up their doors for you. If you're going to their city, you have to sign up on the website, you have to create your profile, and if you're visiting a new city, you can look for people who live in those cities and are couchsurfers. You send in a request by just saying, hey, I'm going to be in your town and would like to surf your couch. Similarly, most people like meeting travelers, and there are times where you can't travel all the time and you miss traveling and you miss meeting people. The best way to still travel while not traveling is hosting couchsurfers, because you listen to a lot of stories from the travelers and then you feel like you're traveling with them. So couchsurfing is something which you don't really have to pay for it. You just have to be a nice guest, because if you're going to someone's house, you obviously can't treat it like a hotel.
Right.
So you got to help your host with whatever. It could be household things, it could be helping your host cooking or whatever. Yeah. And also in most cases, at least with all my experiences, I've had brilliant hosts. They have just taken me around. There have been hosts who've come to pick me up at the airport. I haven't spent a single penny. They've just taken me around, shown me their city, because they're so excited. Awesome. They're so excited to talk to someone from a different city. So one question what people would want is, how can someone just let you come to their place? Right. Well, Couchsurfing has something called as references, wherein you write a reference for that particular person who stays with you. Everyone who will host me at their place or consider hosting me, they're going to go through my references. Okay. And if they read any bad references, then there's very little possibility of me finding a place.
So do you have any funny stories about Couchsurfing? Have you met any weird people or anything like that?
So I started sending Couchsurfing requests to a couple of people in the US. I found some cool hosts everywhere, but there was one host who replied to me saying that, hey, sure, you can come and stay with me. I was really excited because this was in San Diego. And I planned everything and I was about to go to his place. However, 2 days before, he ended up sending me a message saying that I forgot to mention I'm a nudist, and I hope you have no problems with that. And I had no clue. I mean, I knew about nudism, but I did not know how it works. So I googled about nudists in California. And I was quite scared. I'm like, okay, this is, I don't know, I would be very uncomfortable. So I didn't know how to say no to my host.
Right.
And because I had sent a couple of requests to different people, I think at the end moment someone else accepted my request and say, hey, you can come and stay at my place. So I sent a message to this host saying that, hey, my company has extended the accommodation. However, I would love to come and meet you. I would love to hang out with you. Okay. Because I didn't know how it would be to, stay with a nudist. Yeah, I mean, it's no offense, but...
So if you hadn't got the other place, would you have done it?
I don't know, because I don't know.
I'm going to be in the US next month
You
for like a whole month.
You should try.
So I'm planning to go to New York. For
okay,
like
I'm gonna write you a reference because you invited me home and this is really cool. Okay, I'm gonna do a video of the place as well.
Okay.
It's really cool. So I think I'm gonna write you a reference about you hosting me for a couple of hours at your place.
Okay.
And that will kind of help you get a host in the US.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, please let me know how your experience is, and if at all.
So I'm going to be in New York for like a day and a half. So instead of taking a hotel, maybe I'll try to couchsurf.
Try to couchsurf, yeah, it's a good idea. And if you ever happen to come across a nudist, I think you should try. What I couldn't capture, I think you should capture and show everyone.
What do you guys think? You guys think I should try the crowdsurfing experience and make a video about it?
I think you should, yeah. I mean, it's very interesting.
When you travel, like how much budget do you keep for a day?
It depends on the city that I'm traveling in or whatever town I'm at.
Right.
Ideally in India, you do not pay more than 200 or 300 rupees for an accommodation.
Right.
At most of the backpacking places. Now when you say what are backpacking places, places like you have Hampi, Goa, Manali. These are the places where you find a lot of foreigners, you know, who are backpackers who visit such places. Most Indians don't know about it because we don't travel as often as them.
Okay.
And when we travel, for us it's a vacation. We travel, you know, probably once in 6 months or once in a year. So we don't mind splurging.
Right.
As compared to them, when they travel for minimum 3 months to a year.
Okay. Is that what you plan to do?
That's exactly what I want to do once I get enough money. Now, in Dharamshala, I ended up meeting this couple, Lee and Sarah.
Okay.
And we just exchanged a smile, we started talking and we decided to meet for dinner. So while I was having dinner with them and you know, they were writing something in their diary and I'm like, what is that? They were traveling for about 10 months.
Okay.
And they had a budget. So they had a budget for their breakfast, they had a budget for their accommodation and for their transportation.
Okay.
So I was like, wow, you know, I don't do this. And then I'm like, okay, you know, I should start doing this. And that's when I learned that at any place in India, you will always find a place for 200, 300 bucks.
Okay.
However, you need to find a lot. Like you won't find these places online. So once you reach that particular destination, then you have to keep walking with your backpack and keep asking around and you'll find some of the other place.
Interesting.
Yeah, and if you don't, there have been times, you know, if you've seen my videos, I haven't been able to find such places. Okay. So what I do is, since most of the places which I visit have, you know, other backpackers around, I try making friends with people and ask them that, hey, you know, you're traveling alone, would you mind sharing a place? Because then you find a place for 500 bucks and you share. So you split the cost.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times. So I think some of my videos, I think I have 3 videos with random people I've shared a place with.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
So 3 real quick tips for like people looking at travel on a budget.
Okay, number 1, do not expect luxury because you have to compromise at least somewhere. Number 2, always carry sheets. That's because if you're spending just 200, 300 bucks for an accommodation, it's not that there's a possibility, but for sure they do not wash the sheets every day. Like I have this sleeping bag which is a sheet from Decathlon. I spent some 500 bucks for it. Just put myself in it and then you can, you know, put whatever you want. Third is it's always better to carry backup cash because you never know when you might want to use it. So always ensure that if you're on a budget, you keep 2,000 rupees aside, hide it somewhere. So just in case, you know, if you get robbed or if there's any problems, you can always help yourself.
You've been to a lot of places in India, right?
I've been to quite a lot.
So, top 5 places.
Top 5 places. Okay, it's very difficult to answer this question because every place in India is different.
No, but you got to choose 5.
Oh, okay, it's a compulsion. Okay, so one of my favorite places is Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh. Okay. I've been there about 4 times.
Wow, 4 times.
And I've loved that place. It's the house of Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama lives there. I don't know if he still lives there, but he used to live there. And I had an opportunity to go visit his place. I made friends with the monks. The second place would be Spiti Valley because I had been to Ladakh a few years ago. And back then, Ladakh wasn't very popular. It's only after 3 Idiots, I believe, is when it became super crowded, very popular. Ladakh has become too commercial and Spiti Valley is a replica of Ladakh.
And it's still not as
crowded. But I did a video last year, so I think I'm the reason why it would become popular. No, but I don't have those many people on my YouTube, so it's fine. So I've still preserved it, I guess. The third, I like I like the mountains, and I recently came from Meghalaya. I don't know why I didn't mention Meghalaya first.
Okay.
But also because Dharamshala has been my favorite for a long time. Meghalaya for sure.
Okay.
I recently did some videos for Meghalaya, and I'm in love with that place.
Okay.
Because Northeast is very different from the rest of India. I did not.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like I was in India.
Culturally different.
Culturally, it's such a big culture shock. I didn't believe I was in India.
Okay.
Then comes a little bit of South.
Okay.
I like Kerala.
Yeah,
It's
I've been like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I've been to Munnar a couple of times.
Munnar
And
is
one of my
great.
favorite places, like hill stations.
Yeah.
The 5th is Manali.
Manali.
Yeah, I love Manali.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I've never been to Manali. I've never been to any of these places except for Munnar. I've been to Munnar, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of India I need to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I like Manali is not because of what a lot of people would think why I like it. I just like it. I just like the mountains. Like, I don't know. I've been there as well a couple of times.
I've heard it's beautiful.
It's very beautiful.
So if you want to check his stuff out, like he travels all over India and many different places on a budget, and he he captures all that in his vlog, so it's quite interesting to check out. He's on YouTube at Wandering Lloyd.
Yeah, that's right.
Wandering Lloyd. So I'll leave the link in the description as well, and maybe somewhere up here. Any last words?
I think, yeah, keep traveling, guys, and subscribe to my channel and Sid's also. I'm going to make a video with Sid since I'm in his city.
Alright guys, so if you like this video, hit that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to watch more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.